this year.
Brown and Smith in the center circle. And the Panthers have won the tip. Your officials tonight, Sean Cassidy, Tony Henderson, and Matthew Potter.
And this is the type of game, Austin, that if you want to buy or to be the number one overall seed in the Big South Conference, this is a game you win on your home floor.
The first possession, 9 seconds. The Panthers turn it over. Liberty has lost 6 straight games. They come in averaging 67 points a game in conference play, the worst in the Big South Conference.
And High Point's defense over the past couple games has been pretty solid. Held Charleston Southern to a low number the other night, just 70 points, which is low for them. So let's see if High Point can continue to play strong defense.
Burris with the baseline jumper. And Lindauer gets the board.
Honestly, a very good look there. Just got to knock that down if you're Burris.
Lindauer's seen his 3rd consecutive start since the injury to Adam Weary. Has acclimated himself quite nicely, Kevin.
Yeah, no, he's played solid all season, and obviously the big key with him coming in was his defense, but his defense has really stepped up, and he's proven he can shoot the 3 ball.
Jumper falling away to his right off the mark. John Brown with the early rebound. He'll get 2 shots.
And again, you got to put a body on John Brown. I don't know how he got that wide open underneath for the offensive rebound, but once he catches it there, he's either going to dunk it, lay it in, or get fouled and go to the line, and he's a pretty darn good free throw shooter.
John Brown, something special this season, shooting 77.7% from the foul line during the entirety of the season, 79% in conference play, and always averaging 22 points a game in Big South games.
Yeah, he's obviously the best player right now in the conference. I mean, there's a couple better maybe pure scorers, but for what John gives this team night in and night out, there's not much better in the Big South Conference or in mid-major basketball, for that matter. He's got to be on some lists right now for one of the best mid-major players in the country. And don't forget, folks, just a sophomore.
Burris inside working against Cugini. Gielo there on your screen to Burris.
Panthers defense really doing a good job rotating right now.
Gielo got Wallace airborne and knocks down the jumper.
And before the game, Austin, you and I were talking about this, and don't you expect a little bit more from Gielo? You saw it last year in the Big South Conference tournament. Obviously, Caleb Sanders and Marshall were the 2 studs, but I really saw a lot of potential in this kid, Gielo.
Certainly a guy that can fill it up. Talking about filling it up, Devontae Wallace.
Just unconscious from 3. If he hits another one before missing, he'll actually be above 50% for the season.
His 41st three-pointer in Big South play, shooting a conference best 61.5%. from triple land.
And it just went up right there. And the way Wallace is shooting, he was 6 of 10 the other night, Austin. His percentage in conference went down.
That ball deflected out of play by John Brown. We take a look at the replay. Wallace, he's been making a lot of threes contested like that.
Yeah, he actually he's a very rare type of shooter that really likes to get his shot off of the dribble instead of coming off the screen.
Ball goes quickly inside to Gielo, who mishandles. Burris from 15.
Can't leave him that wide open, just too easy. I know he missed one earlier, but Burris is going to knock that shot down a pretty high percentage of the time.
Burris, a redshirt senior from Winterville, North Carolina, coming off a 23-point effort in the Flames' loss to VMI on Saturday.
And that's just a bad shot by Devontae. No need to force a shot up like that. I know he's cooking from distance, but don't need to force it.
4-4 here in the early stages of the first half. Reddick.
Good defense by Lindauer.
Gielo off the mark. And Brown there to secure the board.
An even better job of defending and then getting in good box-out position.
Laham aggressively to the bucket. 2 points for Jorge Perez Laham, the freshman from Canavanas, Puerto Rico.
And that was a good, strong drive, Austin, because he used, even though he's smaller, he did a good job of creating some space where he could get the ball up off the glass, even though he was defended by the much taller Gielo.
We're starting to see Perez Laham really develop that offensive game, Kevin.
Yeah, he's been a force from the point guard position over the past couple games, and he's only going to continue to get better.
What a look ahead from Lindauer. And Brown's going to go to the foul line. The foul will go against Burris. It'll be his second on the Flames.
And something to watch, Austin. I brought it up in our broadcast on Monday night when High Point was taking on Charleston Southern. In games where John Brown goes to the line 8 or more times, High Point very rarely loses. So keep an eye on that. This is going to be his 3rd and 4th attempts of the night already. We're only 3 minutes and 20 seconds in.
Falls off the right side, now 1 of 3 from the foul line. The 6'8" redshirt sophomore out of Jacksonville, Florida, was the Big South Freshman of the Year a year ago, the preseason Big South Conference Player of the Year this year, and uncharacteristically, Kevin misses both.
Yeah, we've seen him miss a couple free throws over the last couple games. I wonder if that 14 for 14 performance against Gardner-Webb got to his head.
So actually against Radford, he went 14 of 14 and started out hitting his first 4 free throws the other night against Charleston Southern.
So much red in the Big South Conference. I kind of get him confused sometimes. But yeah, you're right. Against Radford was 14 of 14, but the last couple games has really struggled.
Caleb Sanders burrows his way in deep for the lay-in on for Les Laham.
Eugenie should have shot that. I mean, that's a pretty good look for your. I know he's a 6'6" guy. You don't expect to really knock down threes.
And they're going to get a foul inside. They'll call it on Caleb Sanders. It'll be his first, team's third. Coach Layer not happy over there on the Flames bench. Layer's 5th year on the job, 73 and 86. Eugenie from distance. Yela with the board.
Still a good look, though. I'm glad he actually put that one up on the rim. I thought he had a better look earlier in the possession, but I'll take that look all the time.
Reddick stepped on the inline. Possession to the Panthers when we return. 6-6 our score early on the Big South Network. Back to Vert Stadium we come. Austin Ford, Stephen Wetherill along with you here on the Big South Network, presented by State Farm. The Panthers and Chanticleers battle to a scoreless draw in the first 45. Will that hold up here in the second 45 minutes of action? Stephen, as we look to this second half, we talked about both teams just really need to capitalize on what they're given. Does it seem like whichever team comes out and runs possession first has the best chance of winning?
I'm going to say no, because the first half showed that Coastal came out with the possession and they put the pressure on early and the High Point countered. So I think both teams so far, even though Coastal is by record and points and just overall a better team, High Point's playing them to the T. So I really think just whoever can maximize on that one chance, it's going to make a world of difference.
Early pressure being put on by the Panthers. There's Portillo, number 9 on your screen. Back to Makungu. Burden can't keep that ball in play, so an early turnover for the Panthers. Logson with the throw-in. Sophomore from Sortland, Norway. Logson into the box.
Another high school we can't pronounce. Thank you, Coastal.
Ribera and Camargo with a nice bit of rapport there. And now the Panthers on a bit of a counter. Pat Sheldon. Looking for Colson Wiley, snuffed out by McLaws. Now they're making McLaws think, and nearly a turnover. Rivera with a nifty touch out wide. He was looking for Garbanzo. Chanticleers had 7 shots in that first half of play compared to just 4 for the Panthers. Also had 2 corners to their credit. Panthers did not attempt a corner in that first half. Camargo on the outside, makes a move on Storm, makes another move, leaves it off. Storak right into the arms of Ryan Massey.
It was a great drop-off by Garbanzo. He saw that he had the defender's hip turn, and then it's just a simple cut to the opposite direction to get him turned around. Beautiful touch pass to Ribeiro, I believe, or Storak, and hit it straight into the goalie's hands. Easy save by Massey.
There's Garbanzo on your screen applying the pressure on Massey, who just flips it out into the seats. And now Logson will attempt the long throw-in. He threw it low into Portillo, who was just able to save that. Whips it into the box, Storak there. And now Lolo Latour. Uzo well off his line. Now he and Naipon. Thought we were going to get to see a foot race there between the two. That'd certainly be something to see.
That would have been exciting to see. That's not much of what we saw in the first half. I'd love to see Sewell and Ribeiro go at it. I'd love to see Naipon and Uzo continue to pressure each other and just impose their will on each other.
Adam Storm, the sophomore from right down the road in North Guilford High School. Keys that into the box. Now the ball up to Garbanzo. Left it off for Storak. The trailing Logsund. Logsund. If this were rugby, that may have counted.
Absolutely. With this international squad, some of them probably have rugby experience. Still have a lively crowd here, Austin.
So everybody coming back from their halftime break, filing back into the stadium.
I was worried they weren't going to come back. It seemed like 3/4 of the crowd just up and left at halftime. They are trickling in nonetheless.
Be another free kick now for the Panthers. So they had one at the very end of the first half of play that they could not capitalize on. But Yearwood's going to give this one a go. Certainly have to think Adam Sewell, who scored a header in that last game against Liberty, would love to get his head back on one. Shelton!
That one headed straight towards Sewell. Shelton in front had the better position. Just a bit outside.
That'll go down as a shot for the Panthers. So depending on your shot track, it's either now 7-5 shots in favor of Coastal Carolina, or on the scoreboard here in the stadium, they have shots at an even 6-6.
I like seeing Yearwood being able to drop those beautiful passes into the box for High Point to try to take care of and transition to goals.
Storm pops that ball back into play after Ribeiro played it forward. And now Camargo on the attack. Camargo all the way to the 18. And Garbanzo was there on the left. Looked like he could have played that one home. And a pair of Panthers collided. Sonny Makungu and Adam Sewell gingerly getting up.